As hockey fans in Utah, you're probably still feeling like you're getting to know a lot of the new faces that will be gracing the ice for Utah's NHL team this fall. One of those young faces coming from a strong hockey lineage is already following a very similar path to his legendary father. Josh Doan made his NHL debut with the Coyotes just this past season. He played in only 11 games, but he recorded 5 goals and 4 assists for 9 points. He grew up in Arizona. Why? Well, his father, Shane Doan, is a Coyotes legend, playing 21 seasons in the NHL, all with the same franchise. His rookie year, though, was spent with the Winnipeg Jets. Before that team moved from Canada to Arizona. Sounds like a familiar situation. That hasn't gone unnoticed by the Doans. Josh talked with the KSL Sports Utah Puck Report podcast about the move to Utah.
It was a weird conversation to have. We were on the road when it all kind of went down, so I called him, and he was excited and disappointed, obviously, that Arizona was losing a team, but excited for the new opportunity that the NHL was going to grow in a new state. And he saw obviously what happened to the Valley once it got a hockey team. So to see what it could do in another state, and just the growth of the game with the chance that Arizona was going to get a team in a couple of years back is kind of the outlook I think he took on it, is just to be positive about it. And he went through the exact same thing when he was my age, about moving from Winnipeg to Arizona. So, and he says the greatest thing that ever happened to him. So it's one of the things, we're going from Arizona to Utah as a chance to be something special. And that's kind of the mindset we took.
I just want our fans to share your first NHL game. And can you just kind of walk us through getting called up and what it was like to have your dad in the stands, and tell us who the shirtless guy was, and kind of talk us through all that little, like, from the call up.
Yeah, I got called up when I was in San Jose with Tucson, and we were out for dinner with a bunch of the guys, and I got a text that I needed to pick up the phone pretty soon, and Bill Armstrong called me, told me I was getting a chance. I stayed at home for the whole time I was up, because it was either that or a hotel, and I felt more comfortable being at home with my family. And after that, I drove to the same rink that I grew up playing in, and did morning skate and practice, and then went back to the Mullet for my first game where I played college, which was a weird thing to do, but it was definitely unique. And then it was just fortunate that my mom's sister and her whole family was in town for just visiting, and which is where the shirtless man came from. He's my uncle, and we're pretty close. So he said if I scored, he was going to go shirtless, and he fulfilled his promise, that's for sure, a couple times. So it was pretty cool to see. But it's one of those things where it's just surreal to get a chance to play any NHL game, and for any NHL team is something you dream of as a kid, and to get a chance to do it in front of all my friends and family is something I'll never forget.
So have you been to Utah before?
Yeah, so that's I've driven through Utah every single year since I was about 8. So our cabin up in Canada is the halfway point of Salt Lake City. So every year we go through it about 2 or 3 times a year and stop in there. That's usually our stop, and it's beautiful. So it's been, ever since I've been a kid, I've driven through it and loved it. So
I don't know how to say it, but I just want you to know how welcome you are. I know that your family is deeply rooted in Arizona, and I know this part is kind of crazy for you, but man, the fans are so excited here to have you. Are you feeling that vibe already?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously, we're like, as an Arizona kid and growing up in Arizona and being with the fans here, it sucks that they're losing their team and everything. But just from the beginning, it's been open arms from the people in Salt Lake City and Utah, and the excitement that they've had. Like, it's one of those things where it changes the vibe of a city, adding another sports team and adding some more excitement, and to be a part of that, and to feel it from you guys and everyone a part of the organization, and the people helping us move out there has been super surreal. Like, it's one of the things where you kind of have to step back a little bit and just enjoy it, because it's something that you'll never get to experience again. And that's part of it, where we're all thankful for the support that we've all gotten from everyone in Utah. And I expect there to be a lot of support still coming from Arizona with the fans there. As much as it stings right now, it's going to be one of the things where it's another team that's still close by. It's a state away. So I think it's going to be a fun experience, and we're all excited to get started.
Do you ever watch the Pat McAfee show? This past week, Pat called up Utah owner Ryan Smith during that show. The topic came up of team names. Smith mentioned they've got it down to 4 now for the NHL team, hinting that Mammoth and Yeti are in that group. A date for the final vote still has yet to be released. We're waiting, and we'll find out soon. Fans all over the state, they, of course, have an opinion on what the team name should be. Yeti, Mammoth, Venom, Outlaws, Black Diamond. The list goes on and on and on. But what do the players think? They're currently on an NHL team simply known as Utah. And one of its future stars, Josh Doan, he has an opinion on the name. He shared his thoughts on the KSL Sports podcast, The Utah Puck Report.
He seems to be pretty exciting to be around. I mean, he pulled this off.
Yeah.
He got us an NHL team. It's been pretty amazing. All right, before I let you go, I gotta know. Do you have you seen the list of names, and do you have a preference on what the team's going to be called? What's your top 4 votes?
I think my top 4 was the Yetis. I think that's a cool one. I like the Venom just because Utah being the Beehive State or.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, well, we got to maybe mix that in. The Outlaws was cool, and then I probably threw like the Mammoths in there just for fun because it seemed pretty funny if that was the team name.
Josh is right. If they go with Venom, tie it into the B. Yes.